Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new BambuLab A2L printer. We're going to be unboxing and setting this up, which is honestly one of the printers that I really needed because I need a larger format printer than my usual 260mm printers. And this one has a 330mm bed size, which is huge in comparison. And there is a QR code on the outside of the box right there, just in case you don't want to watch my instructional on putting it together or look at my double chin. I will just mention before I get this out of the box, if you are thinking about purchasing one of these, then please make sure you have the room for it, because this thing extends quite far. The back of the unit needs to be a minimum of 25cm away from the wall so the bed can have its full travel. Although the size of the unit does mean you get a decent sized box. And one man's box is another man's home. So without further ado, it's time to cut into the plastic and actually get into the unit itself. BambuLab always do quite a good job in packing these things. And it's not a surprise knowing that they sold 2.7 million printers just last year in 2025. So first thing out of the box we've got is what we're here for today, and that is the 330mm build plate. This build plate shares its design and is interchangeable with the build plate on the BambuLab H2C. But I really like these build plates. They seem to slot on a lot easier than the previous ones, because they have two tabs at the top instead of just one. Next up in our unboxing, we're going to come across this. This is the base for our AMS, because this version is the combo version, so it comes with that color changing AMS. If you just choose the default A2L, then obviously you'll be missing out on that color changing combo. Here we have another part related to that AMS, and this is what will hold your spool on. Next up in this side piece here, we're going to have a bunch of accessories, things like the power cable and also the clip that goes at the top of the printer should you not be using that AMS. I am not going to end up attaching that to my machine, but I'll talk more about that later. One of the main things we'll need for assembly is this here. It's this little purge wipe thing. And this is basically where your printer will purge filament to when it color changes or just when it starts a print, and then it will cut it off automatically using the tool head and just fire it away. The other thing in here that we will absolutely need for assembly is inside this cardboard box you will find all of the screws needed, and also some Allen keys and other bits like lubrication oil. And then there's this small cover piece which I will show you where that goes in a moment once we've got the rest out. Now it's on to taking out the rest, the actual bulk of the AMS color changing system. This is the bit that will hold all four of your rolls and also houses the little motors that will grab the end of your filament and feed it into the machine. As you can see here, each piece is supposed to be numbered, but my little cover plate actually came off. A small piece of plastic actually came off, which I'm hoping can be found in the rest of the box. You can see looking at the other side that these are normally covered by a piece of tape. It's just that the tape has failed and it's come loose during shipping, I hope. Moving on in our quest to find the missing piece, next up is the gantry, which is this large section of metal here that houses our tool head and also a couple of motors to move it up and down. And the final piece of the puzzle is the base of the unit, which houses the bed and all the mechanics to move the bed. It's also where you'll find the display for the device and also the micro SD card where all your files will be stored. And surprise surprise, I found my missing piece at the bottom of the box. Fortunately, nothing there is broken, so it looks like it's as simple as just clip it back on. Underneath the bed you will find the last item, which is just some PTFE tubes. You'll have 4 of them if you got the AMS combo, and there's a tiny bit of filament to get started, which is adorable. And now we can begin our actual setup of the device, which will start by locating all those bags of screws that we had. The first packet you'll need to find is the one that specifically says it is for the heat bed, and there should be 4 screws in there. And you'll also need to grab that biggest Allen key out of this pack. Then we can lift up the heat bed, which is loosely just attached with a cable at the minute, but we're going to attach 4 screws where I've just pointed, and it should be quite obvious where these line up with this metal sliding section. And then once you've got it lined up, there shouldn't really be anything else you can line it up with. Then you can put those 4 screws in. I do this in like a diagonal star pattern kind of thing. I just do that for everything. So basically I do this corner and then I go diagonally to the other corner, and I just feel like that helps spread out some pressure when you're screwing things. Maybe that's just a habit from changing car tires. Next up we're going to get that big metal gantry, and then we're going to lift up our base section and join them together. You will need to just slide that heat bed out of the way that we've just screwed in, so don't be afraid to give it a little push. And then also when you join these together you want to make sure that every cable is free and that you can see where it ends. We don't want to get anything trapped in this bit. So with all that said, you just lift up the base, and you're going to need to do a little bit of a pivot here. It was quite difficult actually to get the hang of, but eventually it does go in and it will sit flush. If it sits proud by the edges, then you know you've got a little bit further left to go. It should sit flush with everything. And once you've done that, you want to look down here where you'll see two little cables. One was in the gantry and one was in our base. Basically, you just want to join these together now while it's still easy and you can move things around. And once you push them together, you want to get out this blanking plate and just install that. And then you're going to want to feel for a lip back here at the back of the printer, and this is where you'll be able to get your nail under and lift up a panel and just slide it out just like I'm showing you on screen right now. It just slides straight out, and then that will give us access to the next screws that we need to install. So you need to go back into your goodie bag and look for the bag of screws that says for base housing. Now I think there was 10 screws in here. There's 8 that go in the middle, and then there's 2 that go either side in these plastic bits. We're putting a screw here anywhere there is a green circle. And then BambuLab recommend that you get out that tube that was called lubricating oil and that you put some on the rails just as I'm showing you here. Try and get it around the side edge as well, because this is going to lubricate our bed when it slides back and forth. So after you've applied some, you should actually grab the bed and just slide it back and forward about 10 times just to make sure everything is nice and covered with that oil. And then we can put that plastic cover piece back on. It might help if you slide the bed back a bit and then you can see where it's actually attaching to. I will have a more in-depth maintenance guide coming soon, so get subscribed if you haven't already. And now you're going to want to turn the print around because we need to attach that cable to our tool head. And keeping with the fashion, yes, there is a bag of screws for this. Just make sure when you install the cable that the yellow label is up, which says on it, please install the cable this way up. Definitely not mentioning that because I almost installed it the wrong way up. I always say that there's a reason for every sign, and yes, it's me, I'm the reason. So we're going to get that bag of screws now that says for integrated cable, and there's just 2 screws in here for this. And then once you've installed these 2 screws, we're going to move over and take a look at these plastic pegs that are holding in place our tool head rail. So this is just a simple 2 screws, and the machine will even warn you before you start the machine fully, have you taken these out? So there's 2 of these, one on the left side and one on the right. Just make sure they're taken out before you start it. One of the last things before we move on to building our AMS and then eventually finishing is we have to install our purge wiper. So the back just unclips off of this, and then that will expose one little cable, and also it will expose the screw hole where we're going to screw it into our machine. This wiper gets installed on the left hand side of the machine, and you'll find a corresponding cable just kind of dangling there. The cable that is dangling from the printer does have some slack on it, so you can pull out some more because you will need it to actually get it to route around this thing properly. And then it just slides in from back to front just like that. And then we can grab the screw that says for purge wiper. It's just 1 screw, and we just go around the back and install that upwards. And then after you've done that 1 screw, you can just clip the back on after routing the wire properly. The final thing I would recommend now is give your build plate a wash in the sink with some dishwashing liquid, and then clean it off all nice with paper towels and install it into the machine. The build plate just really wants to be a grease-free environment, otherwise your filament will struggle to stick to it. Now we're on to building the AMS. Obviously if you didn't get the combo version and you're just printing in single colour, then this doesn't apply to you, but this is the next stage if you did get the combo. And it's quite simple. Basically you want to take these 4 AMS stand screws and the AMS itself, which I'm holding in my hand, and then the base, and you want to join the base up, aligning those 4 screw holes there, and then you take the 4 corresponding screws out of the packet and just screw them in. And then the next thing you're going to want to look at is those rolls that we had at the beginning for the AMS. They have 2 green and 2 yellow, so you just want to find the corresponding colour, and they have a shape inside. If you look down into the barrel there, you'll see a shape. Basically just colour coordinate them, but also make sure those shapes line up in the middle, otherwise it won't click in all the way. And then we're going to have a look at this PTFE tubing, which is probably the final thing that we need to do here before switching it on. And you'll notice that 2 of the PTFE tubes are shorter, and that is on purpose. That is because they feed the near side of that AMS to the printer, the 1 and 2 slots, but I'll show you that again in a second. Firstly, you just need to grab the 4 that are all the same length, and then they go into the top of the machine. You can put those in any order as far as I'm aware. The tool head really doesn't care where it's being fed filament from, and the AMS controls where the filament comes from, so in theory it should not matter. These tubes simply just push into the holes, and then if you give them a little pull back, you'll find that they're actually being caught by some teeth, which is just how these PTFE tubes work. They just basically grip on like a plumbing fitting. And then if you ever want to take them back out again, all you need to do is not pull on them, just press down the black tab at the bottom all the way down, and then you can pull on them. Now you can put these other ends of the tubes into the AMS. Again, the shorter two go to 1 and 2, and then the other ones go to 3 and 4, those longer ones. And then it's time to undo the cable at the back of the AMS, and you can insert that into the printer. Well, there's a slot on the back here, and it's the nearest slot to the AMS. They do say in the documentation that the AMS always has to go on the right side of the printer, and I guess it's just because of this cable location. It's not just because I'm mean. I will just quickly show you that if you don't have the combo version but yet you're watching my video, thank you. This thing that came in the box is actually where you will install your single roll, and it simply fixes to the printer like this and then goes into one of those slots on top of the tool head. I'm opting to leave this off this time because it seems to get in the way of my AMS quite a bit, and sometimes it just causes it to snag. So now I'm going to plug in the power cable and we're going to fire this thing on for the first time. The setup itself is really easy. All you'll need is the BambuLab app on your phone, and then you can basically just go through it, connect it to Wi-Fi. It will then give you a QR code that you should scan on your phone, which is easier than having to enter your account details on a screen this small, to be honest. And like I mentioned before, it's going to remind you, did you take out these pieces of the printer? Otherwise it's going to make a very nasty sound. It's going to try and move and it's not going to be able to. And then it also asks you, have you oiled or lubricated those rails, which we did. And then finally it's going to ask if it can do a bunch of tests like vibration compensation and other things. Then once that's completed, all you need to do is put your spools of filament onto your AMS, feed them in from the bottom, and it should work out the rest for itself. You can tell the screen what types and colors of filament you have, and then basically go on the BambuLab app and print something. I'm very excited to try this printer, mainly because it's huge compared to my A1. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, then please give a subscribe or at least a like, and I will see you again very soon.